in such a way that we keep this impression as vertical as we possibly can as we pour the material into it, as we vibrate it into it, and keep that as vertical as you possibly can. And do not allow it to come down to where it's horizontal, because if you do, most likely you will get a bubble in it. And we're going to vibrate it all the way around, keeping it as vertical as we can until all of the teeth are totally filled with the impression material. And now once we get the teeth filled with it, we can take the material that's left in it, and you don't have to vibrate this part into it. In fact, if you vibrate it very much of this part into it, you'll get bubbles right on the tips of each of the cusps of the teeth. So I prefer not to vibrate that into that. Maybe just a little bit right there. But we don't do much vibration with that. So we're going to build it up just a little bit above the surface of the impression all the way around. And now what I wish to do with this is to put some knobbies on it, or some blobs of material that stick vertical to it, so that when we pour the base of the cast, it will adhere to it and not tend to separate. And once you get this to the point that you have it ready to set aside and to try to reach its initial set, like so, we're going to place that into a device on the we have on the walls of each of our laboratories, so that it is supported only by the handle. If you set this down with the weight of the stone and the impression on it on a flat surface, it will tend to, in places, perhaps distort it by moving the alginate that's part of the impression. So if you just hang it by the handle into these little slots that are built into each laboratory on the wall behind the vibrator and behind the mixer, and we allow that to set now until it reaches its initial set. The initial set will take place in somewhere around 10 minutes from the time that you mix the material